Canada's cooler than the United States, and I think we should all move there.
Ridiculous.
Temperature-wise. There is a shift. The people going to Canada are going to Canada, and then the people in Canada are coming to America, and it's balancing it out. In terms of,
we're on. We're live. Hey guys, just talking about Canada and how awesome it is. Anyway. Yeah, guys.
And now I'm going to get shit on by pooped on by
whatever. Who gives a damn at this point?
Number one.
Oh, crap.
Well, guys, as you guys know, welcome. Viva's back in the casa. Rob is here, Brandon, and we have Humberto who wore. Dude, I love that shirt because it's like my grandmother had a couch that looked like that.
It's granny tactical. I run operations in your nanny's house.
Like if you lay on the floor, I'll sit on your ass.
They do make pillows out of this. And
I love that.
They're the most beautiful.
I love it. Humberto's been losing. Dude, you know how much weight this guy's lost? Him and Rob. Look at Rob. I want the audience.
Rob is jacked.
Dude, Humberto's lost how much pounds? How many?
I think around 12, 15.
12 pounds, Rob?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't weigh myself.
Haven't drank in...
No, like 85 or 86 days.
Haven't drank in a year. Last week.
March 18th.
March 18th was a freaking year. And, dude, and May 31st is my 2-year.
Wow.
Dude, guys, that's what I'm telling you. The poison of alcohol is that's the number one by killer.
Biggest upgrade.
Because if you think about it, bro, if we eat a lot. Remember, we go to your house, we eat dinner.
Yes.
When you eat a lot, you're full. Like I'm full. When you drink too much, it's called alcohol poisoning. And when you see somebody stumbling, guys, and we laugh when we point, like, oh, look at him, he's drunk. No, he's poisoned, but it's not at a level to kill you yet because your liver bounces back, which is
slow poisoning.
It's a slow poisoning. But anyway, guys, I digress. We have a lot of stories today. Mark Carney from
Canada. The CCP candidate. I don't even know why I'm talking.
Yeah, whatever.
The CCP candidate in Canada.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about. Brandon's going to talk about Florida's banning chemtrails. Can't wait to hear about that. Dire wolves are back apparently. Humberto's going to be talking about that. Who knows what the hell else they're going to be bringing back? Rob is going to be talking about Olive Garden, and they lost their.
An injustice has been done, and we are going to rectify it.
We are going to rectify that. And, yeah, we got a couple other stories we're probably going to mention. Something with China, by the way, tariffs. The tariffs with China. By the way, it's all-out tariff war. China just slapped 84% on us. Trump went at them. And I said this on the PBD podcast, Rob, and I'm being dead serious. Right, the last time Trump went toe-to-toe with China, a mysterious virus came out and crippled the world. And if you guys think China's going to just sit back and let this happen, mark my words. And it's not as if spy balloons haven't been flying over the country for the past 4 years. It's not like they've been buying land near military bases. It's not that all these Chinese people came over the border randomly. I'm telling you, I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just giving you a heads up. If something happens, do not be surprised if it's China.
I had on Sam Cooper. Do you guys know Sam Cooper, Canadian
Hopefully
journalist?
it's not Sam Harris, but whatever.
No, Sam Cooper, and I don't know if he's related to Daryl Cooper, but people were asking. Canadian journalist really going deep on the China infiltration of Canada.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He really put me in a black pill mood because he seems legit concerned of an actual kinetic confrontation with China as relates to the U.S. Canada might be a little bit protected for reasons we'll get into. Joking people, but
kinetic in the sense
a
of
war,
like
kinetic
a war,
like a hot war, not a cold war.
Well, dude, it would. Oh man, that. But listen, at the end of the day, and people keep saying they're our adversary. They're our enemy, bro. And it boggles my mind when people stick up for China. Bro, it's a communist. The guy, you want to talk about a dictator? When people talk crap about Trump, the guy has slave labor camps, bro. Okay?
Where they have nets on the building so you can jump.
They have nets so you can't kill. If you kill yourself, you're just boing and you bounce back up to your office.
It's an interesting thing. Everyone's like, in a tariff war between America and China, who's going to win? You're going to say Americans are going to have to pay a lot more for stuff that they want that they otherwise get from China.
Firecrackers are going to go up.
But China is not going to get the revenue that they get from America. This is going to come to an end sooner than later. I don't think it's going to go kinetic. This tariff war is going to end sooner than later because at the end of the day, they both need each other for different reasons. Yes. But America needs to get independent on critical resources like medicines and energy. But
I agree. Let's see what happens. I mean, if she gets on a plane and comes here, what's his name?
Who's
Shark Tank? President Xi Jinping. He needs to get his ass here, go to Washington with that. He has that. You know his face bothers me. He has that face like he farted. Yeah. No, he has that face like he has that face like he farted, but he's kind of sorry for it. He's like, I hate his face. Anyway, all right. So first story. On Monday, did you guys hear what Taylor Lorenz did?
No.
She's back. She's back doing stupid crap. She got backlash after she admitted a social media post So somebody implied that that Biden was dead. Okay, can you show the post? Someone posted a black and white photo of Biden with the caption "R.I.P. Joe Biden, 1942 to 2025." And what's it saying? You were always a racist effing monster and will not be missed. Instead of condemning it, you know what she says? This tweet got my hopes up. Like think about that, okay? For a second, okay? She has lost her mind. She's calling him. You know why she's doing this? She called Biden a war criminal for supporting Israel and blamed him for a laundry list of things, saying her sympathies lie with those Joe Biden has harmed and killed. And when people called her out, she said, "You guys don't give a F about," this is her tweet, about Joe Biden. You hate that man too. And it's like, hey, Taylor, yeah, I don't like the guy. I think my opinion, he's done some disgusting stuff in his past. His daughter has written about it. His son is a degenerate, crack videotaping, whatever, you name it, that Hunter's done. But wishing death on somebody, I mean, how low can you go? Like, it's completely wrong.
Well, it's inhuman, but there's a difference between hating someone and wishing death upon them. And you can adopt the Mark Twain perspective, which is, I've never wished death on anybody, but I've read many obituaries with gleeful delight. Yeah. She said something about the guy there, Luigi. Didn't she say
This is perfect. In December, this isn't the first time she defended
the great joy she felt.
Exactly. The crazies that celebrated the assassination, the actual assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And you know what she said? If you've lost someone of denied insurance claims, it's natural to wish death on those running the company, okay? And then she doubled down on Piers, where she said she felt joy of the killing. And guys, let's just be honest. Okay, Brian Thompson, all these people, Joe Biden, whatever that they are, wishing death and then celebrating and saying that you're happy says something about you and who you are as a person and where you are spiritually, emotionally, religiously. Like, I get it. Okay, the Thompson guy was whatever. All the insurance guys that are running that type of stuff, and that's what they do. You're not gonna freaking wish death upon them, right, Humberto? What do you think?
I mean, this is so pointless. I mean, the guy is so close to death that wishing it is just like, I mean, come on. How much time does he have? Less than 10, 15 years? Like, this is so...
I would think
10, 15 months. I mean,
that's very generous.
If you read the reports that are coming out about that book, Fight Inside the Wildest Race for the White House, they talk about how Biden staffers back in 2023 were preparing for his death. So these are inner people within the White House, inside Biden's administration, that were planning for his own death 2 years ago. So to give him 10 to 15 years, I
wasn't trying to be glib either, but like mental deterioration, especially if it's like Parkinson's disease or dementia, senility, it happens quick towards the end. Like it's then it's...
Well, it happened to my Nana. It's sad to watch, but I watched her pass away because of the effects of Alzheimer's, and it's quick. Yeah. She started misremembering different... My brothers and I are all pretty close in age. She started misremembering brothers' names, and that was a sign. And then we continued to see that she was slowly losing cognitive function, and then from there, it was like, you ever go skiing and you go down like a black diamond?
Yeah.
It's just straight down.
Yeah,
that's what it was
happened.
like. As soon as we put her in a home and she was trying to get care, it went straight down. Her health went down, and then she passed away months later. So once that cognitive starts to go, the rest of the body goes with it.
All right, maybe I'm being too generous. Maybe 2-3 years. But what's the point of all this? Like... what's the point?
The point, the point is,
it's not gonna serve any justice.
Yeah,
you know?
what's
it's just ugly.
That's why she's not with she's not with WAPO anymore, because this type of stupidity, and bro, just her face, they just have this evil, like, I don't know what the hell it is with these people, bro. It's like, be a decent person.
It's SSR eyes.
Exactly. They got that crazy ass look in their eyes, and it's like, it's not about right or left. It's about being a decent human being, bro.
You understand what her tweet is. This tweet got my hopes up. Itself is a dog whistle to say, oh, it would be great if someone were to do what nature has seemingly not yet done. She does it over and over and over again, and then she cries like a little itch bay that she's the victim of being doxxed and people doing terrible things to her on the internet.
Yeah.
This is every fear hides a wish, and that's quite clearly a wish.
Yeah, and by the way, since we're on this, people that are cheering murderers, Bill Burr, I can't wait to hear Humberto's take on this. He had a run-in with reporters, I think last week on the red carpet of the 2025 Mark Twain Prize for Conan O'Brien, which I freaking think is hilarious. Reporters pressed him about his support for Luigi Mangione and, a guy, the Brian Thompson thing. And as usual, being the weak beta that this guy is. The chicken poop response. Jake, can you go ahead and play this response? Mind you, he's out there talking crap, and he's out there in the political world, and I think it all started when his wife got caught flipping the bird behind Trump like she was so cool. Ever since then, it's been the decline of Bill Burr. Play this clip if you can. Thank you.
Tell us about your reaction to Luigi Mangione. I was reading up, that perhaps you've been supportive of what he did. What is your take on that?
If you were reading up, I don't think you read up on it. Because I said what I felt about it, and I said what a lot of people said.
Some people took it that way. So could you clarify what you think?
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that. I'm here for Conan. I'm not doing all of this. What are you going to bring up next? The Middle East? I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
I was just
global warming.
I'm dumb.
You said about Elon that he was ruining Earth, I saw on The View. You're critical of him.
Comments.
What do you think of all the boycotts, like even the violence?
I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I have no idea what's going on. I watch Instagram. I watch people wipe out on motorcycles. I watch lions and hyenas fight each other. This is the things that I do. And I don't think you should be asking a comedian. You're a journalist.
Comedians are on top of current events.
No. That's weak. That's you guys passing the buck. You guys need to have balls again, which you don't.
You guys need to have
You guys
balls.
always goes, should we be thinking this? Duh. You guys present stuff like that. You guys used to have balls. You need to get your balls back. And it's not my job. I am a dancing clown.
Okay.
It's actually not that,
Go say your point.
it's actually not that bad. I kind of don't mind what he said there.
Yeah, that's fine if you said that and not said all of the free Luigi Mangione stuff. But you went out there on your high horse and tried to cater to that vocal minority of people that think that Luigi Mangione is some type of cultural icon. So you go out and you continue to make these statements, not just once. He's done it multiple times because I know he did it on Jimmy Kimmel. I know he's done it on other shows as well. So he's thrown out the free Luigi thing multiple times, and then when he gets pressed on his comments, he's like, "Oh, I'm just a dancing monkey." No, if you were just a dancing monkey, we wouldn't be asking you about the comments that we're pressing you on right now.
But by the way, he's a coward. Bill Burr, you are a coward. You can't talk all that shit, and mind you, you're talking it, and like I said, it all started when his wife, because I'm pretty sure the Trump MAGA audience started coming after him. Like, bro, the president's standing there, and you're flipping him the bird. That's all. It all went down. But and here's my point. Then I'm gonna come to you, Dave. It's like you can't open your mouth and then expect not to be questioned or pressed on it. Okay? If I wore a matador outfit and I go in the bull ring and I grab the cape and I'm doing this, I can't be surprised and shocked when the bull comes after me. That's what you're doing. And what a soft, pussy ass move to be like, no. I'm a dancing clown. No, I don't read. I went to summer school. No. You're opening your mouth, and now people are coming after you. Take that shit like a man. You talk tough. So guess what? When it comes at you, step up. You know what you should have said? Yeah, I said it. That guy deserves to die. That's exactly what you should have said. You should have said, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool with a father, and Bill Burr's a father, a guy that had a mother, a father, kids, wife. I'm cool with him getting shot in the middle of the street. And for the rest of that kid's life, that kid, Brian Thompson's kid, going to be able to go online and see his father getting shot in the back. That's what you're saying that he's cool. That's what you're cool with. And I think you're a coward and you're a pussy because I'm a comedian too, but I have my point of view. When I'm on stage, I'm funny. If you want to just be funny, just be the dancing clown. Just be that guy. You say free Luigi and people step to your ass, take that shit like a man, like the rest of us do.
Well, the irony is he accuses the reporters of not growing a pair and doing their job when that's exactly what he's doing. Is he's being a coward and wiggling out of it. The problem is he said things that got him an audience, that got him some attention from people who support public executions. And you can't then come out and say afterwards, yeah, I was wrong about that, because you've got an audience now that says, no, you supported public executions, and we're the type of people who support that. And if you come back on that, what you said before, well, lo and behold, we're not exactly the nicest people on earth, and we might show you some of the same attention that we supported Luigi showing the CEO. So it's audience capture, and now he's fearful of his audience to piss off his audience.
And what's crazy is you got to understand, Bill Burr in the early 2000s, he used to go on, he and Patrice O'Neill used to be on the Opie and Anthony show.
Amazing.
Which, growing up, Opie and Anthony were the most vicious, just destructive radio show. They would tear people apart. They made their living off of making people uncomfortable. It was awesome radio to listen to. But they were part of that show. They built that show. Bill Burr and and Patrice O'Neill were part of the reason why that show became so successful. This guy was a vicious comedian, no holds barred, we'll call it like it is. And he has gone from the one end where he was not scared to say anything, call anybody out, to then placating to the woke mob. And for what? For what? Nothing. You're already rich. You've already made your specials. You've already made your millions. You're a helicopter pilot. Yeah. You work with All Things Comedy. I believe he has a vested interest in that. So you've done it. You've achieved what many comedians start out wanting to hope to reach that level. You've done it. Why are you then ruining all of it by having these terrible opinions and ideas?
It boggles my mind.
What does Rogan think of this guy? Is Rogan friends with him?
Rogan thinks dude, Rogan respects him. He's funny, bro. The 2 specials that he shot, you people are all the same. And another, bro, old school Bill Burr, it doesn't get better than that, bro. Him and Louis C.K. You just nailed it, Rob. You were here, bro. Now you're gonna talk crap and you're not gonna back it up.
That's where I'm going with this. What? There's this old Latin concept, right, from ancient, Latin philosopher. It's called vis comica. That means the power of humor, right? Mm-hmm. So, ancient philosophers, they believe that anything that is too taboo or too dark to be spoken about seriously, they will have people to talk about it making jokes. Yeah. So if you see that comedians they made the most progress when it comes to gay rights because they started joking about the gays. And then it became, people started joking about it. So all these concepts, they're brought by comedians. I think comedians have such an important role in society. Bringing, like, for example, I didn't mind when Tim Dillon was joking about, what's his
Brian
name?
Thompson.
Yeah, no, Louis Mangione.
Oh, Luigi Mangione. Yeah,
all right.
Playing the Christmas carols.
He's being funny, and he's not being serious.
He's being facetious with it.
Very facetious. That's his style.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I think our problem with Mr. Burr. I think he's really funny. I used to love his Monday morning podcast. I will listen to it religiously, like, especially when he talks about sports. It's great. I think he's not fulfilling his role as a comedian and as a part of society. A comedian, you need to push the envelope. I think his home life, I'm not going to comment on it, but I think it's out of control and it's affecting his career.
They call it the canary in the coal mine for censorship. Like doing comedy, they say that's how you know that the government or whoever's trying to actually censor people is when they start telling comics they can't say things.
Can I tell you that as my experience, because I've been doing stand-up a lot more, I'm getting back into doing it now, I can tell that there's a definite shift in tone with the audience.
Good or bad?
Good. Good. It's back. Comedy is back. And it started in November. It sucks to even sit here and say that Donald Trump saved comedy because I don't want to be a Donald Trump nut hugger. But honestly, he did. The administration did it. Like, there's a different feel in the crowd when you bring up politics where we can joke about it again. I joked on stage about Canadians and how they were, and something stupid, nothing. But I was just like, hey, you guys are now Americans. There's no worry. You're the 51st state. Everybody loves that. They actually can laugh at Trump. Whereas if you tried to laugh at Joe Biden, it's like, guys, how could you mock Joe Biden? Yes, he's a national treasure. He's dedicated his life to public service. And real quick, Vinny, before we move on, because I know we got to wrap up, there was a study that came out, and I wanted to bring this up because we're talking about the assassinations. I saw this yesterday on the Daily Caller. It's super interesting. Data released Monday from the Network Contagion Research Institute found that 48% and 58% of left of center people at least somewhat justified the murder for Elon Musk or President Donald Trump, respectively. So there's even a percentage of the far left that not only condones these assassination attempts, but also wants them for Elon and wants them for Donald Trump. That's very disturbing.
Evil.
That almost half of the far left thinks it's justified to kill Elon and Trump.
Unbelievable. And
but at the same, we need to afford comedians a little more leeway whenever they're talking. It's different. It's a job.
Yeah,
it's
but
very difficult
he went from comedy to activism.
Yeah,
what he was doing there was activism,
that's the
and then he doesn't want to defend it.
Humberto, you know who I am. I do my stand-up, do my stuff. But when I have a point and I'm ready to go on peers or whatever, I'm sticking up for, and I'm not going, oh, don't take me serious, because I'm just a funny guy. No. If you open your mouth, you're in the ring. Don't get mad when you get punched in your face. That's it. Anyway, speaking of Canada that you mentioned.
And speaking of going in the ring and opening your mouth.
Mark Carney. So, Dave, Mark Carney, he came out of nowhere. I've been hearing some China connections. What? You're the man on the ground.
I'm on the man on the ground in Florida, and I'm not on the ground in Canada. Mark Carney seemingly came out of nowhere, except he didn't come out of nowhere because he's always been in the back scenes, at least for the last 5 years. So There's an election going on in Canada. I suspect your audience knows. Mine certainly does because I've been covering it. And I've been vocally critical of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party. I've been critical of them for 4 years. I ran for the People's Party of Canada, which is the other writer of right party in Canada, because I didn't think the Conservatives were not conservative enough. I didn't think they were defending charter constitutional rights enough. Okay. So I've got my partisan leaning.
Still?
Well, I mean, I'm still critical of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives for not running a campaign the way I think they should run it. But holy hell have I been unleashing on Mark Carney and the Liberals, because he came out of nowhere. Nobody knows who he is, except he's been advising Justin Trudeau on financial policy since COVID, since 2020. He's been advising the guy who was at the helm of the Liberals, leading them for the last 10 years. And people don't know who he is. He looks like a nice old man. You know,
he has that look in his eyes.
Globalist banker.
He's a globalist.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a globalist whore of the highest order. Did you guys know he has 3 passports?
No,
Three passports?
I love it. I love it.
No.
Three
Why would you
passports.
need 3?
Well, I
Why
mean,
would you need more than one?
in case you destroy your own country or you
Pick
want
a
to be
fucking flag, boy. Like, I hate this. Restaurants that are like fusion Asian and Mexican, you just pick one passport and you stick with it. That's it.
And by the way, he doesn't even live in Canada.
Well,
right?
he moved back because
just did.
in order to run, you have to be a resident.
Are you saying Mark Carney is the Asian fusion restaurant?
Yes.
He's the Asian fusion with Mexican.
No.
He's a
I'm mad.
burrito
What
with
are the 3
sushi in it.
passports?
The 3 passports are Canada, England, and Ireland. Now, some people say, well,
it's
you
the
get
same thing.
You get,
Don't worry.
Well, no. He is a globalist whore. It's not the same thing because he's been the governor of the Bank of England for the last
that's crazy.
10 years, I want to say.
What?
Give or take.
Yeah.
He moved. Yeah, that's right. He moved to England in 2013, where his daughter, I presume maybe doesn't use daughter pronouns anymore, went to or attended the Tavistock clinic. Not necessarily the gender clinic,
His birth
but
person.
the Tavistock
The
clinic for
brainwashing.
therapy. Yeah.
You've talked about Tavistock
Oh,
before.
yeah, well,
right?
but there's the
Oh, yeah.
Tavistock Gender Clinic, then there's the Tavistock. Well, the daughter is a trans activist, wrote an essay where talking about TERFs and all this other stuff. He attended a party with Prince Andrew in 2014.
Ooh.
After that infamous photo of him with Ghislaine Maxwell at some concert emerged. Bottom line, the guy's a globalist. He attends Bilderberg meetings annually. Like, he's an invitee. He's not like, he doesn't hope to get an invite. He gets the invite. Yeah. He gives talks at Davos, WEF. He's been the governor of the Bank of England for the last 10 years or so. Not anymore.
The boss of the Fed.
Say it again?
The boss of the Fed, the Bank of
boss
England.
the boss. He was the chair of Brookfield Assets Management, which is an investment firm that has now invested in green energies and has invested in dirty energies in foreign countries, given the policy that has been implemented in Canada that he was sort of potentially responsible for while advising Trudeau. So the whole point is, this guy's not new. He's a true globalist of the highest order. There has been talk about Chinese infiltration in Canadian government for a very long time. Sam Cooper, one of the Canadian journalists, is the top of the top when it comes to that. You should have him on. And I've had him on a couple times. We talked about it. There's this thing called CITE, and I forget what it stands for, but it's election. It's a federal agency that's like looking into election integrity in Canada, and they've been doing these weekly updates about potential infiltration because we know, as a matter of fact, that upwards of a dozen MPs, members of Parliament, are either unwitting or witting agents for foreign countries, foreign interests. China, India, to name the 2 big ones. Jeez. They did a press conference the other day, Monday, about how there's been some inorganic influence on this Chinese communist app, WeChat, as relates to Mark Carney. Let's play that because we can. This woman looks like she's out of a skit from Saturday Night Live, but this is news in Canada. Let's hear. We won't play the whole thing, but good part of it.
We are aware of an information operation targeting the
Can you put the
45th
volume up?
general election on the social media platform WeChat. The information operation was launched by Yoli Yomien, WeChat's most popular news account. Intelligence reporting links the Yoli Yomien account to the PRC, Chinese Communist Party's Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission. The content of this information operation contains story about the Prime Minister, Liberal Party of Canada leader, and candidate in Nepean, Mark Carney.
Okay, we get pause it there. It goes on. They explain how there was inorganic boosting, apparently, of 2 particular posts as relates to Mark Carney, who's now running in Nepean after having moved back to Canada after being in UK for a decade, opposing Brexit, by the way, opposing populism, moves back to Canada. Okay. Overtly missing from that press conference was whether or not the narrative was positive or negative on Mark Carney. So, I pulled up a couple articles. This one is from I want to say the National Post. And it says, Chinese government boosted Carney posts on popular social media platform. Were they negative or were they positive? If we flip to the next one, and we can see by and large, spoiler alert.
Go to the next
You go to the next
slide.
clip. Spoiler alert, generally in a positive light. So this is the National Post saying the posts were boosted, tend to portray Carney generally in a positive light, which sure as sugar means a very positive light.
Yeah.
So you've got the candidate being boosted on WeChat, the government which knows of Chinese infiltration into Canadian MPs, Liberal MPs, minimizing what's going on. Go to the next one. I want to remember what the next one is here. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. At the same time, just got to remember this. At the same time, a Liberal MP, member of Parliament, jokingly suggested that a conservative MP who has a bounty on his head in Hong Kong by the Chinese government jokingly said, if you bring the guy to the Hong Kong consulate in Canada, you might get your Chinese bounty. That member of the MP, he resigned, and this is the person that they apparently replaced him with, singing the Chinese national anthem in full Chinese uniform at some event.
Is he Chinese?
Oh, he's Chinese, yeah.
Okay. That's the...
Now, I'm always very, I do as much due diligence as humanly possible to make sure that these things are legit. And thus far, this seems to be accurate info that they've replaced the man who suggested that they bring a conservative for a bounty for China.
Yeah.
Replace him with this guy. So you have what seems to be quite clearly known Chinese influence that was disclosed to Trudeau back in the day. He did nothing about it.
Of course he didn't.
Now you got the media having to report on the fact that this app seems to be targeting Chinese Canadians with generally positive reporting on Mark Carney. And I did my own AI analysis because those two posts they're long, they're in Mandarin. I translate them, summarize them, and the bottom line of all of them is that the narrative that they're pushing in these Chinese apps is that Mark Carney is sort of the new blood of the Canadian government. He's the deviation from the status quo. He is the status quo, and to portray that as the reality and to target Chinese Canadians who make up a substantial demographic, almost like 5%, in ridings that will be influenced by this is, as far as I'm concerned, overt infiltration and influence. To say that he's anything new to the status quo is an absolute lie. He is the old boss that you never knew existed behind the scenes.
Seems worse than Trudeau. Is he worse than Trudeau, you think?
I mean, he's worse than Trudeau because he was advising Trudeau.
He was advising. Trudeau's just the face, whatever the hell kind of face that was.
Like, there's the puppet masters, and then there's Trudeau might have been the little marionette, and this guy and his WEF gang were the ones pulling the strings.
Right.
And Pierre Poilievre was on with Jordan Peterson 3 months ago. 3 months ago, the election hadn't started yet. You might want to think about doing more podcasts now. It doesn't matter. And he brought up a point in the podcast with, well, he didn't actually do it. It was Jordan Peterson who brought it up and said, at one point they were offering Mark Carney Chrystia Freeland's job, Minister of Finance. Yeah. And Peterson's like, why would he even want to take that? This guy, he's got his reputation. He's already in with the big boys. Why would he want to do that? And the whole point is he turned it down. And, Peterson said, well, if he wanted to become prime minister, he would wait for the Liberals to be in a total state of disarray and swoop in and be the hero and be anointed the prime minister. He said this 3 months ago before it actually happened. And then that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
To a T. This guy now, globalist to the core, going to come in and just become the next prime minister of Canada after the election. He's already the prime minister designate because he just came in.
What's the Canadian sentiment as just the public about the Carney and the whole situation, and what do you think the odds are of him actually winning? And then because Carney's anti-American, he's talking a bunch of crap, and trust me, bro, he's gonna get in over his head with us.
No, well, he's already in deep with China, it would seem. He's already in deep with the globalists. He's trying to, realign with Europe now, the same Europe that has become basically the European Soviet Union.
Yeah.
The sentiment on the ground, I couldn't tell you. And I know what I see on the internet. I know what the markets are saying. And what should have been a slam dunk of an election, it looks like the biggest fumble of a layup, if I can mix some sport metaphors.
What would be, in your opinion, the best person that they have right now? Pierre, obviously not Mark. Who's the guy that would do the best job for Canada? Because all I hear is complaint. Bro, I can't tell you the amount of messages I get from Canadians that were complaining about Trudeau. Now they're complaining about Mark. Pierre Poilievre, they're like, he's okay, but like, what?
Well, I mean, we're in the stage of the lesser of the evils. Like everybody thinks like Canada's not a two-party system. It's a 5-party system. It's just 4 against 1.
Yeah.
So like you have your Liberals, you have your NDPs, which are going to get annihilated. You have your Green, you have your Marxist Party, you have your whatever. So you have 5 parties, but it's liberal, hyper-liberal, extreme mega super duper hyper liberal,
communism,
and then it's so-called conservative.
Yeah.
So look, I say the best person to stop the hemorrhaging would only be anybody except the Liberal Party. They've had a decade to destroy Canada, and now they're asking for another 4 years, and it looks like they might be getting it. But the bottom line, this is Pierre Poilievre back in the day when, he actually did, this was a...
he sat in front of a camera.
He sat in front of a camera.
Eating an apple outside in the bushes.
He did Viva Voce, like showed where he's good, because he is good. He's a smart guy. He's charismatic. I want to play this because I want to highlight not just the globalist aspect of Mark Carney, not just the CCP potential infiltrated aspect of the Liberal Party, the outrageous corruption of Brookfield Assets Management that Carney was a chair of. Apparently, he might own a lot of stock in it. I'm not sure, so I don't want to assert that as a fact. He's still intimately related to this and made financial decisions, investment decisions, based on policy he was giving to the Liberals. Roll this and listen to it. We'll play this through because it's gold.
Go ahead, Pierre.
Do you support the Prime Minister's decision to veto the Northern Gateway pipeline, Mr. Carney?
I understand the veto of the Northern Gateway pipeline.
You support it?
Given both environmental and commercial reasons.
You support it?
Do you support it?
I think it was sensible. I wasn't involved in the decision, but I think it was.
I wasn't involved in it.
And yet, your company has invested billions of dollars in oil companies in both Brazil and the UAE to buy pipelines. You bought billions of dollars of pipelines as a company in the last 5 years. Do you support those investments?
Mr. Poilievre, there is a global energy system, and one of the issues, I'm trying to explain a bit of how the economy works. One of the
Thank
issues,
you so much.
Well, it may help. One of the issues for this committee in thinking about a sustainable transition.
Do you support it?
Where is Canada's role in those as energy transitions from fossil fuels to renewables? And in different jurisdictions, into different geography, it matters. It matters, and this is a fundamental point.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This is a fundamental. You're finally getting to a point.
You've exceeded the time.
Relevant to this committee's.
What you're saying is you oppose pipelines in Canada, but you support them in the UAE and in Brazil. That's what you've actually said.
There are specific.
That's your double standard.
It is not a double standard.
It is a double standard.
It's not a double standard.
You make billions of dollars off foreign pipelines, and you shut them down here at home, putting our people out of work.
What he just said right there. He is advising Brookfield Assets Management, the investment firm that he was chair of, after having moved it, by the way, to New York because it's too costly to do business in Canada, to invest in dirty energy after advising crippling green energy in Canada. So he gets to make money off of his own advice, which is going to cripple the Canadian economy and cripple the natural energy independence in Canada. And this is the guy that is set 78% in the market odds of becoming the next Prime Minister of Canada,
Carney,
with an over 50% chance, according to the markets, of having a majority government. The Liberals have been in power for 10 years. Medical assistance in dying, state-sanctioned murder is up exponentially. Child hunger is up. Poverty is up. Addiction is up. Overdoses are up. After 10 years, crime is up. After 10 years, this guy and his party might get a majority government. I mean, you can't... I don't want to say you get the hell you usher in.
That's the people,
but you get the hell you usher in.
That's the people that are voting. They better not...
That's the thing. It's not even the people anymore, all right? It's not even the people anymore. The political system of Canada is broken. All right, like the
was it ever fixed? Like,
no. The thing is that you see how changes happen in Canada. They happen super slow because they're not represented 1-to-1 like here. Like you go vote for a guy, he gets into power. Isn't the Senate selected?
The Senate is selected. And by the way, Justin Trudeau was jamming through Senate picks while he prorogued Parliament after announcing he was resigning. Corruption.
So you have all these layers of people and selections, and then things are delayed. Like people have a sentiment, they vote for a party in, and then it takes years for the party to actually start running things the way Canadians want them to run, all right? So I think the system is flawed at the bottom. Then the second thing And this is a very interesting quote from Justin Trudeau from 2015. He said, "There is no core identity, no mainstream in Canada. Their shared values, openness, respect, compassion, willingness to work hard and for each other and to search for equality and justice. Those qualities are what makes us the first post-national state." All right? So you have all this leadership that they work for the Bank of England, they work for private equity, they work for all this. And in their mind, they don't think Canada is a nation. They call it a post-national state, all right? And I'm going too deep here, and I'm out of my depth because I'm not nearly Canadian. I'm actually the opposite of Canadian, all right? Yeah. I'm from the furthest place away from Canada in the world, all right?
Chile?
Yeah, 100%. But this is my solution for Canada, all right? The only chance, like, I think Canada should be dissolved because there's some really cool people in Quebec that they have their own culture, and they have a culture, and they have pride, and they have their traditions. And I think the only way is for Canada to go back to regional governments, because they do. Alberta has their own identity. They all have their own identity, but having this ruling class over them, it's just playing against them.
Well, Alberta and Saskatchewan are completely different than the rest of Canada. Like that's where the most of like the I guess revenue or like wealth of Canada comes from is Alberta, Saskatchewan, right? But then like the most of the political power comes from Ontario because that's where the most people live. So it's like you get like the most valuable parts of it like don't have a say in what happens to the politics, but they're completely against the politics, and the most like liberal part of it doesn't really contribute to anything. So what are the odds of Alberta and Saskatchewan kind of annexing themselves and being part of the United States?
Well, this is when Trump came out and sort of quasi-endorsed Carney, said, I'd rather work with liberals. They're easier to work with. Some people were saying it's a reverse psychology. He wants to get people to hate Carney in Canada, which that didn't seem to be the case. Others are saying if Carney wins and the Liberals win, there will be no bigger impetus for a Wexit, a Western exit from Canada, than that. Alberta is really, really fed up because, like you say, resource rich, and then they pay taxes to the feds, who then redistribute those payments to the so-called poor provinces. They're targeted politically, they're exploited financially to the benefit of the non-producing provinces who have no better reason not to. Hydroelectricity out of Quebec is not excluded. It's excluded, from revenues. Yeah. So they don't even pay into the system. They get money out of it, and Quebec and Ontario dictate the political outcome of the nation. It's pissing off Alberta. If it goes liberal, and if it goes liberal majority, you're going to see a move for Alberta to separate like you've never seen before.
And how big of a hindrance would that be for the rest of the country?
I mean, it was the same hindrance when Quebec wanted to separate. How do you have a portion of Canada that's landlocked from the rest of Canada? Quebec separates, you got all the Maritimes that are no longer connected physically to Canada. Right. Alberta separates, Saskatchewan as well. I mean, so British Columbia now is part of Canada, but separate from it? I mean, it would be the most beautiful thing because you'd get like America with its land mass way to Alaska. Yeah. And ideologically, politically, spiritually, culturally, Alberta more aligned with America than they are with Eastern Canada. Logistically, I don't know how it works. I don't think it does work.
But this is a pandemic worldwide. Like Europeans are suffering from the same thing. They have their countries, and the rules are made in Brussels, all right? And they have their own culture, their own vibe. And then you have all these disgusting political figures that they don't care. And there's people that actually, they can't buy a home. They can barely rent a home. Like we have actual human suffering under this insensitive, money-hungry, like it doesn't matter what party they're from, all right? And this is happening around the world. Maybe I'm picking on Canada now, but this happened exactly the same in Europe.
No, with the exact same flooding of immigrants, illegal or
exactly
whatever,
flood
it, illegal. Destroy cohesion, create internal conflict. Now you see fighting in the streets like you've never seen before in Canada. I mean, not combat, but foreign conflict has been imported as a result of terrible immigration policy. It despairs the nation, it demoralizes the nation, and it destroys whatever Canadian identity there was. The irony, 2015, that scumbag SOB Trudeau says no core identity for Canada. 10 years later, Carney's the most patriotic Canadian you've ever seen. Elbows up. It's pure pandering to whatever he thinks the populace wants. The problem is the Canadian general population. You don't have a Rogan as alternative media in Canada. You don't have Bannon. You don't have Crowder. You don't have Tim Pool. You don't have PBDs. You have True North. You have Rebel News. You have some. Yeah, we have some who defected. You have Jordan Peterson. But then you got CBC, CTV News, Global News, Radio-Canada with a monopoly over thought in Canada, and people are brainwashed. Smart people. My friends, they don't even realize they're brainwashed. They think I'm the extremist.
Well, you know what? Maybe the brainwashing is from the stuff that's coming out of the skies. Who knows? Because,
but the thing is, when they take hope away from you, that's when you are finally finished. And we posted the video with Max Vernier, who we talked with him before the show. Tremendous guy. And we saw the comments on the bottom. It's like, don't split the vote, don't split the vote, don't split the vote. So like they're only worried of having a Pyrrhic victory just so the liberals don't win. And they're the same shit. I'm sorry. I heard both sides when we did the research. They're exactly the same thing. And they don't believe that the People's Party of Canada can win. Until they don't have it in their heart that they can win, and they can, because in America it happened the same thing. Like Vinnie, everyone, we had it in our heart. Like, we're gonna turn this fucking ship around, and we're gonna do it. And we don't care if we're going to jail, we're gonna shot, we wore the hats, we got in the street. And that's the American revolutionary spirit that Canada needs to be injected with.
Well, there's a difference in zeitgeist between America and Canada, and it goes back to the founding of the country, and I think it explains the current perspective.
It's no guns. You guys don't have any guns, so you guys can't fight.
They do have guns.
And speaking of the mental state, I think could play to it, which I was trying to do before.
I know, he killed your beautiful
I set up the perfect transition, and Humberto goes, no, to hell with the chemtrails in Brandon, Canada.
Literally did an atom.
Yeah.
It was almost as good a transition as the Conservatives voting for conversion ban therapy in Canada. Speaking of which.
Brandon, so chemtrails. They're banned in Florida. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, no, so I mean, I was happy to see this. Ron DeSantis has been on a losing streak lately. I haven't seen anything that he said lately that got me excited or made me like him much, but this one definitely turns it around for him. So comes out the other day and just out of nowhere says, like, he's like, yeah, we're not going to have any more weather manipulation in Florida.
So wait, he admitted that they're doing it?
Yes, I have a video of it. So let's run that video quick.
Brandon, how did I not even hear any of it?
Really went under the radar.
So is this it? Is this the clip?
That's it.
Yeah, play this, Jake, and put the volume up a little bit if you can.
Senator Ileana Garcia has legislation in the Florida Senate to ban geoengineering and weather modification in the state of Florida. I support the legislation. However, the Florida House of Representatives has gutted Senator Garcia's legislation, and they would actually codify the practice of geoengineering and weather modification. People got a lot of kooky ideas that they can get in and put things in the atmosphere to block the sun and save us from climate change. We're not playing that game in Florida. I support what Senator Garcia is doing, and I hope that people will tell the House of Representatives in Florida, do not gut this bill.
So first and foremost,
I thought geoengineering was a conspiracy theory.
No. Not at all. It's been around for 100 years. But no, first and foremost, so for federal Congress, it takes like an average of 30 to 70 phone calls from the constituents to get the Congress people to change their mind. So he's talking state right here. The state Congress is trying to stop this. So, people in Florida, it could probably take 10 phone calls for your local congressperson to get them to flip on this, because it's not that type of an issue where they're going to die on that hill. So I would encourage anybody who lives in Florida to go ahead and make a phone call or contact their guy to say, no, we don't want weather modification here. So number two, though, how frequently do you think this stuff is used in Florida, and how much of a role do you think it played in our natural disasters? Because I mean, you go back as far back as Operation Popeye, where we flooded Vietnam with cloud seeding. So
of course, right? Of course, I think, but Brandon, I personally think how about this? Just the amount of airplanes that fly across. You ever seen that chart?
Yeah,
planes. There's fuel coming out of those airplanes, and it is coming down and landing, and we are breathing it. It's hitting our food. Let's just take that fact and put that's in our atmosphere. We're breathing it. Cancer is up. A bunch of freaking problems are up. Autism's up. You can relate that to the vaccines, a lot of other stuff. But when you cannot tell me, there's no explanation that when an airplane goes by and that one little vapor that comes behind it opens up, and after 5 hours, it becomes its own long-ass cloud. If it's a vapor, it should be disappearing. My cousin's a pilot. I don't want to say which airline. And I'm like, yo, is this real? Are they? And he's like, 1,000% they're spraying shit in the sky. And who knows? By the way, we're not living as long as we're living. People are, like I said, going freaking crazy. People are is it just me or people, not just Canadians, I mean, just in general, we're getting nuts.
Yeah.
Where people are freaking crazy.
Well, the
the brain's deteriorating.
There's the food, the chemicals, the breathing. You ever go outside of your car? Bro, leave your car at night and you go in the morning and you're like, what the hell is that's coming from the sky, bro?
Oh, that's a good point.
Go look at your car after a car wash the next day.
I think a lot of it is also coming from the ground in terms of car pollution and brake pad dust and all this other stuff.
Of course.
Break dust is a new one.
No, look it up. That's the amount of fine particular matter that comes off brake pads is
it's ridiculous. Everybody's braking all day.
No, I've never noticed. I don't call them chemtrails. I just noticed cloud patterns here, like very geometric. Like I made a joke one day. I took a picture and said play tic tac toe because it was literally XXOO in the sky. But whether or not they're putting additives in jet fuel, whether or not they're deliberately seeding
it's
the
aluminum
sky,
oxide. Apparently, I heard aluminum oxide because it's cheaper and it's cheaper for them for fuel, and it's bouncing the sun off. And it's like, who the hell are you guys that leave the freaking globe alone, bro? Just leave it. Leave nature the way it's supposed to be by itself. Stop messing with everything. I know we're gonna get to Humberto's story about when something's not supposed to be touched. Leave it alone.
Yeah, no, but it's like a regular thing they do, where they spray shit in the clouds to either make it rain or to make the sun stronger. So, I mean, I think it's totally possible they could have created these hurricanes that happened last year.
Why? I mean, dude, or not purposely, even accidentally. Stop messing with the freaking atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's not your freaking job.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the word now. With the Operation Popeye did cause it's massive flooding, but monsoon. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
So it did actually.
In Vietnam.
The whole joke was first. I was joking about I thought it was a conspiracy theory because they said it was, and then when people joked okay, well, there's hurricane after hurricane, and then they were making the joke oh yeah, this one's going to Mar-a-Lago. It must have been directed between. Creating the elements that can result in a massive storm versus directing it into an area are two different types of conspiracy thought, one of which is confirmed and patented as far as I understood, and the other one might be a bridge too far, I'm directing it to that mine so we can go claim that resource.
Well, they could create hurricanes, though. They were creating hurricanes in the 40s. I think it was called Operation Cyclone or something. There was a hurricane that hit the coast of Georgia that the military did because they were testing it out for World War II, and then they had to make a law where you're not allowed to create hurricanes anymore.
Brandon, I don't know, because you already busted his beautiful transition. You pulled.
I busted his beautiful transition?
Yeah, you just did.
No, it's not time for the transition.
We've been talking for 5 minutes. What are you talking about?
Hey, listen. Let's put our mouth where our money is or whatever. I don't know if you have your phone with you.
Yeah.
All right, it just sent you the number for our constituent in the state senate. Just click on that number. Let's call him live.
Call him, Brandon.
You think it's be that quick?
Call him.
Yeah, I found them, and let's just freak. Is this legal?
Why not?
Whoa.
Well, it's a one.
Florida's a one-party consent state. I wouldn't do it.
Okay. All right. Can I tell them, hey, you're on camera and I'm a constituent?
Yeah, but even I wouldn't. All
right. We'll call after.
Better avoiding a problem than having a good argument.
Yeah.
All right. But Rob, this is something that's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, and it's terrible, and I hope we find a solution.
Are you gonna call? Are you gonna call?
Your father's the one who's been taking pictures of the sky, and he sends you more pictures of the sky than he does of.
Yeah, you don't
dog.
create regulations for problems that don't exist, right? So you don't make a rule. Like I have a friend who he was driving and he saw he passed a cornfield. And they had a sign in the cornfield, and it said, no shitting in the cornfield. Well, in order for you to have the sign that says no shitting in the cornfield, it means somebody at one point was shitting in the cornfield.
Exactly.
So you don't create these laws that ban geoengineering without there actually being active geoengineering going on.
Right. So he must have saw some sick, twisted shit at some point in time.
I grew up in Dubai, all right? And cloud seeding is confirmed there. They're not shy about it. I remember George Bush came to visit. All right, I went to an American school there. George Bush came to visit, and that week it rains in Dubai. This is a desert, mind you. This is straight up desert. It's desert. Not even tropical. Nothing. There's nothing. It's desert. It rained so hard that water in the desert was up to the knee. Cars.
I saw
it's such a desert. The ground doesn't absorb it properly or at all. So then
I was like, "What are we doing?"
They miscalibrate it sometimes. I think they overshoot it with the cloud seeding.
We were wakeboarding in the street in front of my house.
That's insane.
Jeez.
It is insane.
I think they overshoot it sometimes here because the rain doesn't make any sense here.
You know what's wild, too, Brennan? Nothing surprises me anymore. Absolutely zero with all the stuff that's happened, with the trust of the government being as low as it's ever been, with the amount of stuff just from the JFK and the Epstein and the weather and the story that you're going to talk about. Nothing surprises me, and that's why every time somebody goes, do you believe it? I go, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them, especially with something like this, bro. It's look up in the sky. You cannot tell me that after a midday, especially in Montana or some of these guys are recording. It's how many planes are flying over there, and what the hell are they doing? There's multiple levels of what it could be. And like I said at the beginning, you can't tell me just from the fuel itself coming down, you're not breathing that in, it's not affecting you. There's no way. And I'm not saying stop flying. We have to keep flying, but don't pretend like it's not spraying us. And I don't know the extent of it, but for DeSantis to come out and say that, like, stop engineering this. That means it's true, bro.
Yeah.
It's not going to go on a limb and sound like a kook.
No, but it's like Rob said. You don't make legislation to address a problem that doesn't exist, or to address something that's not occurring.
Yeah,
or not potentially prospectively occurring in the future.
Like,
look what happened.
Cartfill.
Yeah, like North Carolina, like the thing, like the thing literally flew up there, turned, stopped, and paused above it, rained for like 12 hours, and then went away.
Yeah,
so like
weird.
That's not a normal thing.
Yeah, it's not normal. Speaking of not normal things, good story, Brandon. Humberto, dire wolves are back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is a fun one.
This is fun. Guess what? Not with that freaking thumb. What the hell is that crap?
That's the dodo bird mixed with a T-Rex.
Dodo bird's gonna eat the little Asian guy?
Or what the T-Rex actually looked like, some people say.
I made it myself. I'm not even a
I like that the
scientist.
Valuetainment logo is on it. Branding, that's smart.
I hope this is
Copyrighted.
Jurassic Prank.
Come on.
I love
Come
it. That's
on.
a great thumb. That's a great
title.
Great
I'm
title.
sorry for being too good. Anyways, this is a cover of Time magazine. They brought the dire wolf back. All right. This is by a company named Colossal Biosciences.
I don't like it already.
It's just an evil company,
Yeah,
Colossal
Colossal
Biosciences. Oh
Yeah.
my God. A Dallas-based biotechnology company has announced the birth of 3 genetically engineered wolf pups.
Dude.
Romulus, Remus,
Ooh.
and Khaleesi.
Romulus.
Khaleesi
Wow.
from Game of Thrones?
Those
Well,
are
they
good
had the
names.
Game of Thrones guy come in to hold the pups.
Wow.
George R.R. Martin.
No, Game of is it Jackson?
No, it was George R.R. Martin. I forgot to
The guy
put
with the glasses?
because I don't care about that series.
I love those
these things.
Can't sleep.
So if we go to the next one,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So it took 12,000 years, guy, and they're back. They're so back.
12,000 and hope,
That's
dude.
insane.
Huh?
Like
So they
I-
were around with like woolly mammoths and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that's what's next.
That's what happened. Like, can you imagine this? Rob sent me a really good clip. I think we have it right here. Oh well, these are the puppies. This will get us all the views.
All right.
It's two-handed.
Volume on.
there's no-
It's
all
two
good.
separate ones.
It's affected. He thought they were connected, like conjoined twins. All right, go ahead. Play this clip, Jay.
Volume on.
Put the volume up.
Aw.
You know what they're saying?
Yeah.
You have unleashed great horror on the human race.
They're cute.
They are.
Yeah,
They
they're
sound like
cute
freaking
now.
dogs. All right, good. They're cute little puppies.
They're mostly dog.
They're mostly dog. They're not wolf.
No, they're wolf.
Yeah.
Are
those humans sucking their teeth?
And this is good for my history bros.
Wow.
All right, the names you said Romulus and Remus, and that's Romulus and Remus, and they're part of the mythology of Rome. All right, basically these 2 kids they became orphans and they were fed by a female wolf, and that's how Rome got started.
Is that what?
Wow.
They sucked on the teats of a wolf, and I wonder if that's ever actually happened in the history of humankind.
There was a story of a kid. I feel like it was in Russia. I'll find it, but a
In
kid
wolf-
that was like raised by wolves. Do you remember?
Yeah, he was lost in the woods,
Yeah.
and then a pack of wolves had him, and for like I don't know how many months or like years, he was just out there with
An
them.
abandoned child, Marcos Rodriguez Pandona, he lived alone in the wild for 15 years, and he grew up with wolves.
I don't believe it. I call
You don't
bull
believe
poop.
it?
I call bull pluff
From
on
The
that.
Guardian, so I don't believe it either. Actually.
He grew up alone in the woods. Like, okay, so he was a loner and he had a dog.
But rumors are he could lick his own crotch. Like he was very flexible too. So
If you could, would you?
100%.
I wouldn't leave the house.
Yeah, what do you mean? You think I'd be on a valuetainment? I'd be a freak show at the house. Anyway,
Oh
go ahead.
man, I will do like 2 or 3 deliveries or like Uber Eats. Just go back
Uber
home.
Eats? You got your own
just
Uber Eats.
Enough to pay rent. All right. So yeah. Let's go to the next one. This is a really long clip, but Glenn, he's always on the money. What a guy.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
I love how white his hair is. The mic is white. His shirt is white.
I love
Everything
his voice.
is white.
He's got such a beautiful,
No, I love.
majestic
And by the way,
voice.
Glenn, he's a sweetheart, bro. That guy's he's a great guy.
Although
I
he
love
did say 10 days for the Epstein files when he was on PBD podcast.
He was lied to.
And it's
He
been
was
like
lied
40
to.
days
Well,
since
Cash
then.
Patel- yeah, you're never going to see
let
that
him
list.
cook. So basically, on this clip, if we can play a little bit of it, he's asking the right questions because this. Oh, I won't spoil it.
All right, go. Let's play the clip.
Now we have the dire wolf. which is truly wonderful. And as I get into this, I see who some of the investors are. Uh-oh. And one of the investors that is really excited about just pouring money into the colossal bioscience is the CIA.
Oh, shit.
I'm giving you a chance to process that for a second.
Yeah,
First of all, CIA, they've got a budget to invest in companies. Sounds like a bad idea.
Shouldn't really be part of what the CIA does.
Well,
it's not a hedge fund, right?
They're not just investing; they have good reason to invest. Okay, so if you're looking to do with the CIA,
go to the next one. But the idea, we already know the CIA, or at least government agencies, are investing in gain of function, so they're going to try to bring back like super deadly diseases from a million years ago.
Yeah, just in case we get
too comfortable. You got to get a vaccine,
like
for
Egyptian plagues or something.
Oh
favorite.
man,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. So now that we're doing this and we're already doomed, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
I picked my favorite animals to bring back.
Humberto,
Okay?
if you bring back the saber-toothed cat,
That's cool.
We are effed.
I love its name is the Smilodon. I mean, that's
Smilodon.
It's Smilodon, whatever.
Smilodon.
It's
whatever.
for the long curved canine teeth that there were 7 inches. That's a lot more than some people
some
here.
things.
So that's my first pick. My second pick, weird one, all right? It'd be the woolly mammoth. One reason, I don't even like woolly mammoths.
Next clip. Oh,
I don't even like them.
you just want to see
But
it.
no, I need something for my saber-toothed cat to eat. All right? So I will
A
bring them,
saber-tooth can eat that?
yeah, so I will bring them back as food.
I think it takes
all
a,
right?
a pack of them, no?
Huh?
One can't kill that. It'll
I
take
don't
a
know
whole.
how
It'll
they
take
work.
like
Those things
three.
I was listening to the podcast of the guy on Rogan, and he was saying that the woolly mammoths are the size of the Asian elephant. So not the African elephant. The Asian elephant, a little smaller.
They
And they're very close. I mean, they've got like pretty intact DNA of
They
woolly mammoths.
stood up at 11 feet and up to 6 tons in weight. Then this is my favorite. Joe Rogan will be so excited about this. This is a Gigantopithecus. It's the biggest primate to ever exist.
Ooh.
It was 10 feet tall. Imagine how scary.
That's Bigfoot. I mean, that's actually, if Bigfoot were to exist, that would be
10 feet
Bigfoot.
tall?
Yeah.
Dude.
Belly on that thing.
Largest ape to ever exist. They're very much like modern day gorillas, but they will stand up like taller.
Yeah, they would rip you
Then,
Arm off.
Yeah.
if the ocean is not already terrifying, this is my next
Megalodon.
pick.
Megalodon.
We need to bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would. How big?
I
How
would
big
bring-
are megalodons?
3 times the size of a great white shark, 60 feet long.
I would like for them to bring back trilobites so that we could just see those little creatures all over the bottom of
Jurassic
the
Park
ocean.
guys?
Yeah, well, any dinosaur would be.
I didn't go
super
Jurassic. I went.
No, I don't want
went a
any
little
Jurassic.
Earlier. And this my wild card.
Cost?
Why?
This is the Haas eagle. It's the big. God, Brandon, don't you love eagles?
How I love them,
They're
but the
the
bald
best
ones are the
animals.
best.
What's special about this one?
This is the biggest one.
Oh, okay.
All right. This was 33 pounds and
Whoa.
10 feet wide.
Wow,
That could pick up a human.
Yeah.
It could literally pick up. How awesome is
Dude,
that?
what country? Where is it from? Where is it normally?
It was extinct in New Zealand.
New Zealand, Chad.
How many years ago? That looks like it was relatively recent.
All right.
It was
That's why I
extinct
think we'll
around
talk. No,
1400
mate,
AD.
1400 AD. No, so like relatively recently.
Yeah, relatively.
Okay.
That's
So
why
there's a chance we can get
there's
that
a
one back.
chance.
Oh, easy. Compared to 13,000 years.
How long did it take for them to get this direwolf situation? How long did it take?
It took them a long time. Here it is. They did sequency. I don't know
How many
long.
years? Years.
Of course, years. And it has a lot to do with the CRISPR technology. All right.
Ooh.
So if you guys aren't scared enough for us messing with God's plan of extinction, like dodos, I didn't put them in the list because they're the most stupid animal.
Dumb.
And
That's why
I'm
they
gonna
died.
this is my opinion. All right. This is my opinion. It's a hot take, and this is allegedly. I think pandas must go. I'm done with them.
What do they do? What purpose do they serve except
It's just
being in the
China.
zoo? China.
All right.
I say what we can do is crossbreed the panda with that massive gorilla that we just saw, so you can have like a massive vicious panda. Then people would really go to
then
a
there's
zoo.
a different story.
Yeah, or I will give up pandas a Brandon gene so they start humping each other. All right?
Yeah.
Brandon jeans.
So
they'll be tight.
So So if this wasn't scary enough for messing with God's plans, I brought something even more horrifying.
What?
So just this is Kawasaki's new Corleo. Basically, it's a hydrogen-powered rideable robotic horse.
You're joking.
And this was debuted at the Osaka Kansai Expo in 2025. And yeah, this is an off-road personal mobility. It looks awesome, but this is gonna go so wrong. You can just roll the tape.
What the hell is that?
This is how wars in the future.
That's not real.
Yeah, it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like an electric, like you're riding like a tiger.
And for full realism, every now and again, it just shits out a battery. Just
Dude, that thing might hump like your Toyota. That thing will jump on your Toyota and you have little baby Toyota.
Okay, that's fake.
No, this is
It's all HCI. This is what they're designed, but I actually saw. No way. What?
That's cool.
Tesla beats digital horse.
Yeah. Well, this next 10 years is gonna be insane, bro.
Yeah. Who's a slide to play? Why is he Chinese?
Why they put a little Chinese guy?
Japanese, you bigot.
Oh, it's
I mean, how the hell is he
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
tell
exactly.
that? He was on there for 2
You
seconds.
bigot.
Dude, that thing is sick.
It's cold on the top of the mountain. Gosh,
Yeah,
darn
like,
it, get your stuff together here.
Like, I wish the commercial right now is just like,
All right, but you know,
Corleo. Because
So
you're
that's
tired
it.
of cars.
it
Dude, let me
is
say
coming in rich.
What a great ad.
I
That's it.
I thought it was cool.
No, but the question we were talking about earlier is like, if you could bring back any 3 humans through genetic whatever it is, who would you bring back? And I think
Hitler just to kill him.
No, we all agreed on. I think Jimi Hendrix was the consensus of everyone would see what his music would have turned into, assuming history would have played out the way it would have had he not died prematurely.
Well, a lot of like, oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, though, I mean, think about it. They took the tooth or the skull. How did they make the direwolf? They took a 12,000-year-old something and a 27,000-year-old whatever,
Yeah, the
and
inner ear, the inner
a
ear
piece
bone
of the
that had
skeleton.
better DNA.
So if they can do that with animals, who's to say they're not going to take because don't we have Hitler's skull or somebody like that?
No, that's a female skull.
Yeah, a female skull, and it wasn't the age of Eva Braun at the time that she died, which is why people think that Hitler and Eva Braun escaped to Argentina.
Well, it's
or
a
South
matter,
America.
dude. It's a matter of time till they start bringing back people that were here that they still have their DNA. But I mean, this is a very, very slippery slope. This is a very, because I heard, I might be mistaken, but I think I'm right that these guys were talking about bringing back dinosaurs too.
Oh, they are.
Oh, guess what? I'm not cool with that.
Vinny,
Jake even said it. Jake is like, haven't we seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah, shouldn't there be like a global council that agrees you can't do that? Like,
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
You want a global
No,
council?
no, all right,
Well,
you're
hold
right.
on, when it-
global
when it-
dinosaurs.
When it comes back, when it comes to there needs to be what he's saying. I think is like an oversight on dinosaur return. No, I'm anti.
The biggest problem in humans right now is we never know when to stop shit.
I
Okay,
know.
we are on season 15 of Supernatural. AI is out of control. They're gonna keep on cloning shit until you can have sex with a
Oh,
fucking
for sure,
T-Rex.
you're gonna be able to have sex with yourself.
Yeah.
All
All right.
I already do that.
Vinny, we are on Transformers 14. We're on Fast
my
and Furious
God.
9. Nobody knows when to stop.
I know, you're right.
Nobody
I
knows
agree.
when to stop.
I agree.
can't.
Oh, the female. Did you see the female robots? Have you seen? Hold on.
They
the
vibrate.
technology, like, bro. When I first
They
glanced, I'm like, bro,
vibrate.
she's hot. And then I saw her blink, and she was fake. Imagine in 5 years. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna go to a friend's house, and you're gonna be like he's gonna introduce you to his new girl, and some hot ass rubber robot is gonna come out, and he's gonna be like, dude, if you wanna hook up with her, just go right ahead, just wear protection. You're like, wait, what? Like, are you not close? He's like, dude, it's a robot. Who gives a shit? She's gonna clean after. Dude, imagine
That's
the
gonna be
future.
tough to compete with for women.
But well, what I'm saying is, it's you want to talk about our birth rate being low right now.
Yeah.
Wait until I'm telling you, in 5 years, the technology of female robots at your house. I think iRobot.
Yeah.
But not just because I saw them, bro. I saw this company that had like an iRobot thing, and they put a mask on, like a real good, like $5,000 mask, and I was like, oh my god, the future.
And they're gonna figure out how to make it better too than the actual thing. Like they're gonna make it like different settings, like different levels.
You're talking
They're-
about sex right now.
Yeah,
the
they're able to
robot.
make it like vibrate and like all this weird
Oh
stuff.
yeah, and she's gonna be able to, you bring your friends
all kinds of
over,
crazy positions and stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I got two things on this.
Go ahead, Jake.
First one, go watch Westworld.
Yeah.
It's super scary.
Okay.
Very messed up.
Yep.
Same plot as what you're talking about. Two, I'm bringing back Chris Farley.
Wow, that's a good one.
one.
Wait, all right, before we go to the last story, if you bring back one person, that's a good one, Jake. Who are you bringing back? And then you get to hang out with. It's not just bringing back for the world.
I'll go JFK.
JFK?
Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh. Wow.
I like that. JFK would probably be mine as well. Either JFK. Yeah, probably JFK.
Yeah.
JFK, you know what he would say? It was them. It was them. Who would you bring back, Rob?
I'm with him. JFK, probably. Are we bringing them back and they're being born from birth and they don't have the experiences the person had?
Well, yeah,
right, because it's not cloning.
Let's do Prime.
Then Genghis Khan and see what he grows up to be in modern times.
Wow.
Does he grow up to be the murderous whatever, or does he just get really good at wrestling?
Nature or nurture, yeah.
George Carlin, but it's too late. I have this theory in my head. If he was alive during the BLM riots, it wouldn't have happened.
He'd be so blackpilled right now. Like he was blackpilled when things weren't even that bad. So I can imagine how he'd be right now.
All right, guys. Last story, Rob.
Speaking of black pills.
Yeah, speaking of, by the way, I think I've walked into 2 Olive Gardens in my entire life, but Rob, they lost their top.
Injustice has been done, and not nearly enough people are covering this. Olive Garden, one of the greatest. If you like fine Italian cuisine cooked by an illegal Mexican, then South Florida Olive Gardens are the place for you to go.
My favorite.
They are. It really is the best restaurant. But
good.
Really?
Never been.
What?
You've never been to Olive
Never
Garden?
been.
Why don't we all go?
No.
You've never been to Olive Garden.
I've been to 2, Rob.
I'm fairly certain I've been, but not in the last 25 years.
Okay, look, the food is, but the free salad and breadsticks is really what makes it stand out. And for me, I read the story and I go, this is a great injustice has been done. No, a report came out that Texas Roadhouse has yes?
I love Texas Roadhouse. You walk in, there's peanuts and kids all over the floor. They don't give a shit.
The
People
bread, the cinnamon bread.
The bread is amazing.
So just like you guys have never been to Olive Garden, I've never been to Roadhouse because
their
we
steaks
used to
are
have.
amazing.
We used to have. It was called Longhorn
John?
Steakhouse?
Yeah, Longhorns.
And that was the one where growing up you could take the peanut shells, throw them, and I felt so cool.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't even like the peanuts. I just fucking.
I had
threw
my
them
brother,
on the floor.
yeah.
And then all these wussies with peanut allergies ruined it for everybody.
Losers.
You loser. Thank you.
Fuck
But
those guys.
according to this report, after 7 years of being on top, Olive Garden has now fallen. They are no longer the top casual dining chain in all of America. They have had a 7-year reign dating back to 2018. The new reigning champion.
Don't tell us. Can we guess?
Yeah.
You go first, Brandon.
Oh, he said it already.
Damn it.
The new
It's
champion.
Texas Roadhouse.
That's why I brought
Oh,
Texas
okay, fine.
Roadhouse. I wanted to see what you guys
Applebee's and Chili's are close.
Applebee's and Chili's are also in the top 5. But right now, it is Texas Roadhouse is number 1. Then it's Olive Garden. Then it's Chili's. Then it's Applebee's. And in last place, and deservedly so, shouldn't even be on this list, Buffalo Wild Wings is the big. That is a. First of all, you know a restaurant's bad if you walk in on a Sunday night during football season and it's empty.
Yeah.
I took my son's birthday. I said, buddy, I want to take you out for your birthday dinner. This is late December, so we're talking playoffs for football.
Not good.
You would think that Buffalo Wild Wings, what do they call it, BW3? Yeah. That place would be packed. I walk in with my son for his birthday dinner. I go, where do you want to eat? I wanted Olive Garden, but it wasn't my birthday. So we settled on what he wanted, which was BW3's.
Picked it out of the blue?
He's like, I would like to go there. And I went, all right. It's Hooters without the hot chicks and with crappier food. There was not a single person in there. The food was terrible. The service was even worse. Like, when you walk into a restaurant and there's nobody there, what does that tell you guys?
That the food is going to be not fresh and they're going to be using old stock is my immediate concern.
My son had like 5 chicken tenders. I had a basket of chicken tenders. This is when I was drinking. I had 1 beer. He had a soda. And our bill was $60 for a total of 8 chicken fingers and a beer and a root beer. $60. And then I had a tip on that, too.
Oh, no.
You kidding
That's
me?
the problem.
No. I'll put up with that with Chili's. I will. Chili's, great food. fantastic. You ever have their boneless buffalo wings at Chili's? Oh, they're to die for.
Really?
I love Chili's. I like Chili's more than Applebee's. If I could Olive Garden, if I could combine the free salad and free breadsticks from Olive Garden with the delicious the boneless buffalo wings from Chili's, it'd be the best restaurant. Were you the one that said that you wanted to have a restaurant where it was just the best plates from every other restaurant? Yeah. What was it supposed to be called? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Burger, like the burger, like the Whopper from Burger King, the fries from McDonald's. I'd eat there.
Add the boneless buffalo wings from Chili's and the free salad and free breadsticks from Olive Garden. You'd have the best.
We'll call it like a smorgasbord.
But you guys are all. You're married. I'm married. You're married. You guys are single, right? Do you guys still go out on dates?
Yeah.
Do you guys like this day and age? Part of the problem why I don't go out to eat. My wife makes better food than most of the restaurants.
100%.
Right? Like when my wife cooks and she makes tacos, it's better than any taco truck that I'll go to, any Mexican restaurant. And my wife is, an Irish Jew who is pasty white and doesn't have any, not even the littlest bit of flavor in her body, but her cooking is flavorful. It's amazing. I love it. So why would I go out and spend more money for crappier food? But you guys who are single, do you guys still take women out? And if you do, I'm assuming you do, where do you guys go for dates? Is dinner a date anymore? Is it too expensive? Is it a bad date?
I go to local, Italian, sick, dope ass little restaurants that nobody knows about.
Vinnie, two things I will listen from Vinnie. He's a dope restaurant picker. Whenever Vinny makes a pick, it's 100%.
He's not even joking.
I'm not joking.
Good.
The last 3 times we went for dinner, it's the best dinner experience I had in a
Thank
long
you.
time.
Thank you.
Wow. And movies. 2 things that I will take Vinny 100%.
But see, you can't do movies for a date because then you don't talk. You go and that's part of the reason why I don't like going to a restaurant for a date, or specifically even with my wife. Well, okay, now it sounds like I go on dates outside with my wife. When I take my mistress out for meals, we don't go to Chili's. I don't like eating when I'm on a date because I want to talk to the person. I want to learn about the person. I think the same thing happens when you go to a movie. So, what are your spots to go and take a babe to if you're going out? Is it a restaurant? Is it bowling? Is it a fun activity?
I like to do something. Shooting is always good, especially if they never shot. Restaurant. But here's my question to you guys: do you sit across from her or do you sit next to her?
Across.
Same I'm with you. Same booth.
But wait, on a date, are you across or if I'm in love with her, I want her next to me so I can eat and kiss.
Okay,
and
yeah, I agree. Date,
I want to look at you and talk to you.
The first one.
Imagine first date, you're just want some mozzarella sticks?
And if it is the first date, what you do is you sit on the outside of the booth so she can't escape. That way it's hey, if this is going bad, you're stuck until the bill comes.
Yeah, but Rob, to answer your question, I think bro, I'm not taking a girl ever to any Olive Garden. I think families go there that when the wife can't cook and stuff like that. But I just think fun places like the beach, not during the day. I can't do that. Going on a walk, going somewhere where you can just talk. That's a great point. I want to talk to you and find out who you are. I can feed your ass at any time, but I want to go and learn who the hell you are.
What about you, Brandon?
I always say Netflix and chill first, but
so get them to the house, hang out with them, and then okay.
But I think hikes are good too, though. That's anything that's physically active that doesn't require.
Wait. A woman will say yes to go on a hike.
Well, that's a test.
That is
that you're a serial killer and she'll never return. Hey, you want to go in this secluded wooded area and go for a walk?
No, but my favorite, what turns me on the most when you meet her and you're hey, you want to go on a insurrection? She's you mean yeah, that? I like girls that are down,
Green
not Antifa type, but I want a girl that's down to wear a mask.
DTI, down to insurrect.
Yeah.
Now, all right.
Joking, but
now when it comes to the married guys, what do you guys do for your dates with your wives?
If you're
you both froze. What?
If you're gonna take her out and the kids are all taken care of, they're all gonna take.
That's never happened. We went to Mar-a-Lago for the event. The last time we had a date night was when I got an invite to the premiere at Mar-a-Lago. And then even that was a night of terror in terms of whether or not the 14-year-old could take care of the 8-year-old who can behave like.
I'm in the same spot. Okay, I get you because it's at the point where I don't know who I trust more to watch the other, the 15-year-old or the 5-year-old. Because the 15-year-old, his maturity has somewhat come down, and the 5-year-old, because he's around the 15-year-old, he's more mature. So they've met in this weird area where they're at 9 years old.
Well, a 5-8-year-old is capable of acting in a way that nobody can physically control, and so what a 15-year-old girl is going to restrain an 8-year-old kid that's throwing a hissy fit or running out of the house. Long story. I haven't been on a date with my wife, and I know people are going to say that's not good, but
Dude,
I don't know,
I'll come.
fucking 14
Are you
years.
ready for this? I will come to the house. I will sit there and watch a movie with them for like 2 movies. Go on a date, bro.
No,
Take
I want a night at a hotel, so you'll have to spend the night, Vinny.
Okay, that's fine. Hell.
Yes, Marion, it's happening.
I'm gonna put them to sleep at 10 so I can play Call of Duty. Humberto, what about you?
Super easy. The thing is that my wife now, she's into this whole like Asian culture stuff, you know.
Korean
like,
rock,
yeah,
Korean
Korean
bands.
beauty and
Bimbop.
and bimbop. So like it's a surefire. I go like, hey, let's go to a Korean barbecue, or we went to a hot pot last week.
Wow, this hot pot place.
We need to go. Vinny was destroyed.
I ate. Mother, I messaged him and I go, I just like I went to the bathroom, bro. I couldn't move, Robbie, because they give you a bowl. It's heated up. You get to pick like miso broth or whatever. It's called shabu shabu if you're in California. So they put this bowl in front of you. Rob, they bring you shaved quality meat. Clam, shrimp, everything. It's boiling in front of your face. You put it in there. You could put sprouts. You could put noodles. You cook vegetables. Everything in front of you with dipping sauce, and it's all you can eat for $30. It is amazing, but it's healthy. It's not like
it is healthy. It's broth. Vinny came in because we went to a mall before. He was looking great, like fitted shirt, whatever. Vinny came in like looking great. We went to a hot pot, clean.
I had shit all over.
By the end of the meal, Vinny had his shirt open, white beater. It looked like he just beat his wife.
Bro, white beater. I had stains just like your wife. She had stains all over our legs, but it was the best freaking meal I've had in a long time.
Now, bro, back to your question. I take her out to the Asian places, but lately, and the reason I lost 15 pounds in the last month,
Stop eating out.
Stop eating out. I don't trust any food. I got poisoned. The first year I was here in America, I put on 90 pounds. I was literally poisoned by the food we're eating. Everything that comes into my house, Brandon knows, everything is single ingredient from now on. Nothing has ingredients. And I'm an incredible cook. I'm probably the best cook. Brandon knows. I'm a great cook.
I could get some vouchers from in here. We might have to have a cook-off.
We might have to
have a cook-off.
Walk-off. Unusual Suspects cook-off edition.
Yeah. Oh! By the way, and I want to know if the chat, are you guys down for this? Humberto I'll make a video at my house. You can make a video at your house, something quick, whatever that'll make it come in, and then they'll test it.
My wings are killers.
I like
They're
that.
killers.
Oh, killer wings? I have something up my sleeve. I'm going to make lamb
But
chops with.
I don't know. Like, I think single ingredient, I don't want to eat any additives. I'm making my own mayo now to avoid seed oils.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I use organic mayo from Trader Joe's.
All right, before we end on this segment, so we've talked about what you guys do for the ladies. What has been the most fun date that you've ever been on? I can tell. I'll give you a second to think about yours. I already have mine in mind. So in 2013, I'm working in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm working on the radio there. We're one of, like, at that point, Cleveland, Ohio, a disaster zone. LeBron had left. The Indians sucked. The Browns blew. So the only thing that the people of Cleveland liked was the radio show that I worked on. So we were celebrities. Right. So that means I was single at the time. My son's mother and I had split up. We weren't together anymore. And it was the first time that I had been single in 10 years. And I was on the radio. So I was like a celebrity in Cleveland.
Right.
Now, I get you guys are going to be like, oh, okay, well, celebrity in Cleveland. I know. And look at me. But I was pulling Cleveland 10s.
Wow.
Now, realistically, that's a Florida 3. But they were very attractive girls. And I met one girl who... we dated for a while. It was a lot of fun. She was the most fun I've ever had. Was this gal? No, she was just. But it wasn't. I looked at her and I went, "This is not someone that I can raise a child with. It's somebody I can have fun with right now." And we had a great time. But my favorite thing that we ever did, we got wasted. This was when I was drinking, and we went mini golfing. And I know that sounds dumb, but it was such a fun date. And then we ended up making out. You know, they have that big pinwheel thing that spins around. I was trying to get her to go in there and do hand stuff, but she wasn't going to do it. But we had a fun time. It was cool. But
Throwing dice, Rob?
Yes, we were going to go play crabs or get
you.
crabs in there.
Yeah.
So, but I was wondering, guys, like, what is it was honestly, like, I look back now and I go, man, that was one of the most fun dates. The only way that I wish I could have done it differently is that I had that same experience with my wife today, because I want her to have as much fun as we had that day. But what is the most fun date that you guys have gone on ever with your current spouse or a previous one?
You want to get me killed. It's current spouse or current spouse. That's what it is.
Dave?
I don't remember. I've been dating my wife and married to her since 1999, so there were no dates beforehand. I like excitement, so when we went to roller coasters, but we went on road trips. I mean, I guess that's a date. It was a 2-week date.
Oh, 2 weeks.
And we went in 1999. Well, we did road trips every summer, and I remember one we did we took her grandmother's Ford Tempo, drove to the Maritimes, and it was the best thing ever. And then the saddest day was when we came back after the holidays. I was like, I got to go back to regular life now, where I had just lived like 11 days of the best, most happy time of my life. And then we got married, so that leads to the rest of life.
Mine was like this girl was really into role playing, so I yeah, no, it's like literally on our second date, and I played a kidnapper. I came and tied her up, threw her in the trunk, took her to a hotel, and.
She's still there?
I was believing you. I was believing you.
True story. Still there. She works at the hotel. No, but I that's so I just love because I know the audience is like, wait, what? Totally into role playing. But no, it was in Montana, bro.
Trunk. That's why I gotta start getting
You're like, wait a minute. No, Montana, and we went out to like Billings, bro. We were on freaking horses, and we were out in a cabin, and it was just us, and that was it, bro. Like we bought the food and we bought everything, and we actually. No TV, no nothing. It was flip phones. Like we had a flip phone for survival, but it was really, really. She was eaten by a bear. So she's not with us anymore. But dude, what a great 2 days. 2-3 days.
Brandon?
Oh man. Anything that's like has to do with I guess like athletic stuff. Like I said, there's been some times where I went hiking, sometimes where we went like whitewater rafting. So stuff like that shows they could
adventurous.
I like that. That's active
All right,
stuff.
I'm going to tell an actual Brandon one. This is the best one ever. So, Brandon.
Is this isn't the Hard Rock story?
No.
Do you remember that story?
This is a Google Translate one. So, should I tell it?
Should
I tell it?
That's
all right.
funny.
So, Brandon doesn't like his woman to speak much English.
Okay.
So,
they can speak whatever, and I'm just open to it.
Yeah, he's open to it. You know, he's not a bigot, as I said earlier. So he meets this girl, and he realizes that she doesn't speak a lick of English.
Zero
Nothing.
English.
Sip. Like, just Spanish. That's what it is. And my boy Brandon managed to do the hanky-panky, no-pants dance by the grace of Google Translate.
Yep.
He will type in the sentences and then play them out loud and then get feedback.
Oh, like that was what'd you go on the date?
So I would speak into it, and then like play it out loud for her, and then she'd speak into it, and I'd listen to it.
And where were you guys going on the date?
Where did we go? Oh, this like I just met her at a bar.
Oh, you met her at a bar, so you're doing this at the bar?
Yeah.
And then what was the closing line for like, let's go to my place?
I live close by.
And that was it. And she said
And
C.
she said C?
C.
Did you have to put that in to translate to know it
I
was
was like,
yes?
see, oh no.
And then,
See.
and what was the last, like, you're like, so you want to go into my room? Condom, no condom? Like, where were you at?
Muy
No, I'm picturing
Muy
like
caliente.
during the actual act, like are you dictating like, oh, that's great, and translate, and then just like,
That was the weird part, because like normally like you could like be giving feedback during the thing, but like I was like getting feedback through my phone too.
Dude, that's so funny. She's
Did
like,
you leave it on? Oh, you savage.
she's like, you're like doggy style. She's like, messaging.
See?
She's like, pull my hair. Pull my hair.
I picture like a date with Stephen Hawking is the way this is going.
Well, it's not Epstein's Island. It's allegedly.
Jokes aside, when I met my wife, it was wonderful. I was doing nightlife. I had access because I used to run, Instagram people. So I had tickets for everything, everywhere. I had 2 tickets for the best party in Santiago. So we met at the bar. Before we started talking, I put the 2 tickets on the table. I was like, if we behave and I like you,
Good.
you get a ticket.
Good.
And we're going there. So conversation went well. And then I was like, you deserve it. We went to the party. I did the split. Because very athletic. I used to be very
That's so much
athletic.
better. The first date my wife, and I'll end on this. The first date my wife and I went on, so we met through her coworkers. Her coworkers went, the radio show I was working for did a cruise every year, and her coworkers came on the cruise, and they told her, hey, there's this really great single guy. I think you'd be perfect for him, and they put us in touch. Well, we had never met. So I get to the bar that we're meeting at for the first time before she does, and I sit down at the stool in the bar, and I wait. And she walks in, and she's very attractive and tall. And I'll never forget the disappointing look on her face when I hopped off the bar stool and she saw how tiny I was. And because when you get to this point in life where you're in your 30s and you're my size, you get that a lot. And you can recognize that look in someone's face when they're like, oh, he's shorter than I thought I was. And yet I was able to overcome that and make her my bride. Did you guys are both somewhat on the shorter side. Did you guys ever have that interaction where you met a girl for the first time and they're like, wow, you're shorter than I thought you were?
she said that and it was done after that. I was just like, I'm not going to get
And Prime Rob looked really good. Have you guys Googled Rob on
Rob
Google?
was fun.
There was a time.
Prime Rob was
Prime
was
rib or
a
Prime
stud.
Rob?
Prime
Prime Rib made Prime Rob, no longer Prime Rob.
I googled it. I was like, what a guy,
Rob's-
dude.
Rob's
Very
gonna be-
good
he'll be-
looking.
He'll be back
Thank
in
you.
prime. I
Very
think
good
in 6
looking.
months, Rob will be back to prime Rob.
Speaking of that, like, do you feel any sense of responsibility for them falling out of the number one spot for you being on a diet?
Wait, what? Say that again.
Olive Garden, do you feel any sense of responsibility for them losing the number one spot?
Yeah, you feel like because you're not going
Oh,
there
so
anymore?
because I no longer am as
Yeah.
heavy as I was,
Yes. Yeah.
Olive Garden has slipped in the rankings.
Yeah, those breadsticks.
I didn't think about that till now, Brandon, but I'll certainly take it into consideration.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Why was Waffle House not on the top 5?
Well, because
Because it
Waffle House
wasn't
is only here.
it wasn't
Waffle
the
House-
worst
it's not
5
world.
restaurants. It was the best 5
Yeah,
restaurants.
Waffle House is just here.
No, Waffle House is the best. What
Yeah,
are
but
you
it's
talking
Florida.
about?
There's not, I don't. There's
I
no
haven't seen a Buffalo Bills. We used to have one in Montreal on St. Catherine Street, but that building now houses actual homeless people. Everything's
No, we don't have Tim Hortons here. You guys have Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Tim
up
Hortons.
in-
Tim Hortons is now crap coffee. I mean, once upon a
it
time
used
it
to be
was
good.
decent. When I would do the road trips with my wife, we would drive 40 minutes out of the way to get to a Tim Hortons. And get a bagel, not a cinnamon raisin bagel with light
done
cream
at home.
cheese. I avoid Tim Hortons now. The coffee tastes like diluted poo poo.
All right, guys. Well, dude, that was a fun. I didn't expect it to go
Trip
there.
down memory lane.
But yeah, it was good. But and thank you everybody for tuning in. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, we are trying to get to 200,000, and I want to do it within 6 months. If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button right now. We will be back on Friday. Take care of each other, love each other, and we will see you guys then. Peace and love.
Peace.